The night began like any ordinary Friday. Jeans, a clean shave, trying to shake off the weight of the work week. My wife, Jenna, had left earlier for what she called a team celebration, a promotion party. She told me I wasn't invited since it was strictly co-workers, no plus ones allowed. I trusted her, foolishly, and stayed home, idly watching the clock, flipping through meaningless TV channels. Then her co-worker accidentally sent me a photo meant for the group chat, a snapshot of the venue, and something in my stomach twisted. This wasn't a quiet dinner. It was a nightclub, blinding lights, bottle service, a jam-packed dance floor. Curiosity mingled with an ache deep in my chest. I grabbed my jacket and keys, telling myself I just wanted to say hi, support her, surprise her with a smile. But beneath that, a darker pull tugged me forward, the instinct no husband wants to acknowledge, the one whispering, "Go see the truth." The moment I stepped inside, the music vibrated through the walls, laughter bounced across the room, bodies moved in sync with the beat. She wasn't tucked away with co-workers, celebrating responsibly as she'd claimed. I saw her, my wife, sitting on another man's lap, arms draped around his neck, laughing as if she didn't have a husband at home. His hand rested possessively on her thigh. That image seared itself into me, burning like fire on bare skin. For a moment, the room blurred, sound vanished. Nothing existed but the slow, excruciating crack of my heart. She hadn't noticed me yet, still whispering into his ear, lips brushing his cheek. Part of me wanted to scream, demand answers. But the cold, calculated part of me awoke instead. When her eyes finally met mine, her smile faltered. Panic, shame, then a frantic scramble to stand like a child caught in wrongdoing. The man looked confused, then irritated, as if I'd ruined his night. But I didn't yell. Didn't cry. Didn't speak. Silence, thick, cutting silence, was my only weapon. She stumbled toward me. "Baby, this isn't what it looks like." Oh, but it was. It was exactly what it looked like. I just nodded and stepped back as she reached for my arm. My voice was calm, too calm. "I'm not here to fight," I said. "Have a great night." Her face, filled with confusion, was priceless. She expected chaos, tears, a scene. Instead, I gave her the one reaction cheaters dread most, certainty wrapped in indifference. I turned and walked out without another word. Before leaving, I handed the bar manager a white envelope I had prepared days earlier for another purpose. Now it served a new one. Inside was a note and a list, a record of bank account transfers I had quietly made over the months. My instincts hadn't been blind when I sensed distance, they were right. I just wasn't ready to accept it until I saw the truth. The note read, "The locks will be changed by 10 a.m. Your things will be packed. Let's stop pretending." I wasn't going home to cry. I was going home to erase her from my life. Stepping into the crisp night air, I felt pain, but also clarity. Sometimes the person you think you're losing is the weight finally lifting off your shoulders. That night, I packed her clothes, photos, perfume, bottles, everything. Nothing was smashed or destroyed. Memories weren't obliterated, they were carefully boxed, as a man closing a chapter, not collapsing. The hardest part wasn't folding her dresses or stacking shoes. It was seeing our framed wedding photo, the way she had once looked at me as if I were everything. That memory felt like a lie now. I didn't break the frame. I placed it face down in the box. Between folding dresses and stacking shoes, a painful but freeing realization hit me. I deserve to be wanted every day, not just when convenient. She came home around 3 a.m., pounding on the door, mascara streaked, sobbing. I didn't open. 36 calls, 100 messages, apologies, excuses, desperate promises. Nothing mattered. I was drunk. He was just a coworker. The classics. But betrayal isn't measured by nudity. It's measured by choice. And she chose him, in front of everyone, without shame. Morning arrived. She was still on the porch, crying, hair disheveled, begging like she was the victim. I watched from the window, heart numb, hands steady. True heartbreak isn't loud. You don't scream when your respect is shattered, you go silent. When I finally opened the door, She bolted inside like she had a right, but froze when she saw the boxes, neatly folded clothes, the house stripped of her belongings. She sank to her knees, clutching my legs. "Please, don't do this," she choked. I looked down at the woman who had laughed on another man's lap, as if our vows meant nothing. "Jenna," I said quietly, "I'm not angry. I just don't want what you've already given to someone else." Her face twisted with hurt, guilt, desperation. She finally understood. This wasn't a drama. It was over. She blamed alcohol, loneliness, stress, everything but the truth. And then, the line cheaters always use, it didn't mean anything. I nodded. "Exactly. You risked everything for something meaningless." She crumbled harder. I stayed steady, because love isn't blind. Loyalty is. Once loyalty dies, nothing survives. I told her divorce papers would arrive soon and that I hoped she finds whatever emptiness she was chasing. She begged, clung, shook, but I didn't move. A man who remains silent when disrespected isn't weak. He's just planning his exit. The quiet after she left was unlike anything. Not lonely, not bitter, but peaceful. I made coffee, sat by the window, breathing like a man finally free from a storm he didn't realize he'd been in. People imagine heartbreak as chaos, shouting, crying, slammed doors. But real heartbreak is quiet. Real healing is quiet. I didn't lose a wife that night. I lost an illusion and found myself. One truth stays with me forever: a loyal heart never has to fight for a place in someone's life. It's respected automatically. The moment a woman sits on another man's lap, she's off your throne forever.